Welcome to the Tryline Podcast. The New South Wales and Queensland sides have both been announced. Denny, take us through the mighty Blues.
The mighty Blues. Okay, at number 1, we have James Tedesco. The wingers are Brian To'o and Daniel Tupou. The centres, we've got Matty Burton and Stephen Crichton. Matty Burton making his debut there. Congrats. Jerome Luai in at 6, Nathan Cleary at 7. Payne Haas and Jake Trbojevic at prop. Api Coruscant is the starting hooker. Lovely. Cam Murray and Lee Martin in the back row with Zayo at lock. Damien Cook in the 14. Angus Crichton, Junior Paulo. Or Barlow. And Talakai on the bench.
Okay, extended.
Extended bench, we got Nico Hines, 18th man, Joseph Swiley, Jordan McLean, Clinton Gutherson, the King, and Victor Radley.
Definitely some interesting choices there. We'll get into that. I could tell by the way you were reading them out, there was some you definitely don't agree with. We'll talk about. Denny insisted we have a beer on this episode, so he could get it all out. Get it all out.
Hold on.
Anyway, for the Queensland side, it's not many changes here. A couple of forced changes. Callum Ponga's in at the back. Selwyn Cobbo and Murray Taulagi will make his debut on the wings. Dane Gagai and Valentine Holmes in the centres. Cam Munster, Daly Cherry Evans in the halves. Lindsay Collins comes into the starting side with Josh Papali'i in the front row. Ben Hunt at 9. Kirk Capewell, Felice Kafusi in the back row. Tino Fasua Malalawi will play lock. Harry Grant, Jai Arrow, Pat Carrigan, Jeremiah Nanai make up the bench. Tom Dearden will again be 18th man. I don't think he ended up staying there. I think Jai Arrow went to 18th man on game day. Thomas Flegler, Beau Fermor, and Corey Oates and Reece Walsh make up the extended bench. Are you excited for Perth?
Oh, it feels like I'm just going over there to watch New South Wales lose, to be honest. Like, it's just got that feel about it, you know? It's like, I know New South Wales have a better team and, you know, they're supposed to win this series, but it just feels like I'm going over there to watch them lose.
You're paying the big bucks to get over there too.
Oh, yeah.
It's breaking the bank.
Yeah. Mate, the bank's already broken. It's cutting deep.
Speaking of New South Wales intended to lose, intended to win. I've got some great stats for New South Wales. New South Wales fans, I'm going to instill some big confidence in you guys right now. All the stats say New South Wales should win. All right?
Mm-hmm.
Queensland, after winning game 1, have gone on to win game 2 only once in the last 5 attempts. 1 out of the last 6 games are game 2s at neutral venues. And Queensland have won 1 out of the last 6 games, game 2s at neutral venues, and have only won 1 since 1995. New South Wales have won the last 4 game 2s by an average of 21 points. New South Wales have only lost 1 game outside of Suncorp or ANZ since 2010. New South Wales has outscored Queensland in each of the last 4 series, I'm pretty sure. Since Freddie took over, New South Wales has outscored them every single series. And finally, Queensland have not picked up back-to-back wins in State of Origin since 2017.
So that's, 5 years?
There you go.
But that it just all points to them being due for a win. A big win too. Like a 13-plus kind of win.
Wales. The game 2 at neutral venues, there's only been 6. And yeah, they haven't won one since 95. They had a little bit of a break with the game 2s at neutral venues. But New South Wales have dominated game 2s. I'm pretty sure James Tedesco's only lost 1 game 2 in his career too, by the way.
He's had quite a long career.
And that was his first one. So all those stats point towards this big win for New South Wales. 21, by an average of 21.5 points over the last 4 game 2s they've won.
That you know, it honestly does not make me feel any more confident in the Blues' chances.
I thought it'd pump you up a bit.
It has not. If anything, it's kind of brought me back. It's brought me lower.
Brought you lower.
Yeah, because you give me those stats and you're like, well, yeah, they're going to win. But then it's just like they're going to lose.
Apparently, as of last night, 80% of cash was on New South Wales as well. Plenty to like about this New South Wales team. I'll start with probably what we're all thinking here. Jake Trbojevic back into the starting side. I think it's one step forward for the New South Wales side, two steps back. I don't understand this selection. I don't know what he adds. I can understand what he adds in the camp. I do not know what he adds to this forward pack.
Well, I think he's got barely any go forward about him. Defensively, he's solid. I think he'll do a job there, but in attack, I don't think he offers much. Apart from that, he's like, what are the rotations going to be like? They've got Junior Barlaw on the bench. That's the only prop. Like,
Yeah,
are you going to bring Angus Crichton into back row, Cam Murray to lock, Isaiah Yeo to front row?
Even Liam Martin, push him into the middle. It's got to be one of them. But that kind of stuffs you up a little bit defensively. Your back rowers are your anchors in defence, 100%. They're pretty much your most important defenders, mostly because they're defending next to the halves, and we know halfbacks and 5'8" usually aren't the best defenders. So it's a bit interesting there. I don't understand the selection. I think RCG, even the other night, even against the Roosters, he was unbelievable. And he is a little bit of like fear, you know what I mean? Like he's a big boy.
Yeah.
He's willing to be tough. He's willing to try and hit you as well. That's not Jake. That's not Jake's game.
No.
Jake will hit you, but there's no fear about Jake Trbojevic.
Yeah. Look, I'm going to say, in game one, RCJ I thought was one of New South Wales' best forwards. Come on for the bench. He started, sorry. I thought he made an impact in both of his stints. But yeah, that one kind of baffled me. I don't know what's going on. And they've got Jordan McLean in at 20. Like, what's doing? He's like better than RCG. In what universe?
I think Jordan McLean's it's got to be an experience thing for Jordan McLean. It just has to be. It can't be. No, I don't mean his experience. I mean it's an experience for him going into camp. That's what I think it is.
So what, you're going to bring him in?
It has to be.
Like,
it has to be.
Why? He's no good. You got
he can't be a chance of playing.
Like never. I don't think there will ever be a chance he'll get to play. Like, sorry, Jordan, but there were plenty better props than you. I'm sorry.
And I think he is probably having his best year out of the time he's been at North Queensland as well. Last year and the year before, he was bang average. Especially last year, he was really bad.
Yeah.
Matty Burton in the centre, that ended up being a no-brainer for mine.
Yeah, I don't mind that pick. I don't mind it at all.
Especially with Whiten out.
Yeah, with Whiten out. Yeah. Oh, so if Whiten's fit, does Matty Burton make the side?
Go there. I don't think they go there if Whiten's fit.
Yeah, no. Me neither.
I said they should, but I think Whiten would have been still in that jersey, considering he was their best player in game one. The other big move for the New South Wales side, Apisai Coruscant into the starting side. How you can understand the pick because, like I said on the show last week, that they want that Penrith combination to fire. That's where they think they can win the game. How does Damien Cook get into the game here?
I'm going to say, I think, like, the game was real quick. Game one, sorry. So maybe Appy kind of just absorbs all that contact at the start of the game and maybe even the start of the second half. You put in Damien Cook towards the end of the halves, and I think Freddie's going to tell him, just run the ball. Just run. Run first and worry about whatever second.
I think this team actually covers more positions than the team they picked for game one. Because I worried about their hooker option for game one.
Yep.
And they've got the ability to shift players around in this one. Now, they're a little bit light on in the prop department, but say a back goes down, Talakai can come into the centres, obviously.
Yep.
He's an edge player. If a half goes down, Matty Burton straight into the halves. And obviously, if you lose a hooker, you've got one on the bench. So I think they're a little bit more versatile that way.
Mm-hmm.
I do think they're a bit small. But overall, I don't really mind this side, to be honest.
Look, it's not a bad side, but they could have. I think Freddie could have done better.
He still hasn't picked his best side, I don't think.
Yeah, no, I don't think so either.
Let's talk about some of the players that have been dropped. We're going to play a little game here. I'm going to say a player. You're going to say if it's fair enough or if Freddie's lost his fucking mind. Okay?
Okay.
Tarek Sims.
That's fair.
All right. Katoni Staggs.
I think that's fair.
All right. RCG.
Freddie's out of his fucking mind.
Why? Why should have he been picked?
Oh, look, I told you, I said earlier, I thought for game one, he's one of New South Wales' best forwards. You could tell he made an impact, not only in attack, but in defence as well. And I think, yeah, as you said before, he's one of those players that, will put a bit of fear of God in you.
Yeah.
So,
Ryan Madison?
Freddie's out of his fucking mind. Again. Like, what did Ryan Madison do?
Yeah, well, so I don't really understand how he gets dropped. That was one of the strangest fucking choices for me, to be honest.
Just to select him in the first place, or
no, to bring him in and then drop him for Angus Crichton. When Angus Crichton on the weekend, he was terrible again. He's not had a great year. Now we thought he should have been picked to start with, but if you go Ryan Madison, what happens in the last 3 weeks to make you go away from Ryan Madison? That's what I don't understand.
Well, he's been great. He's been great for Para.
Yep.
And he wasn't amazing game one, but he wasn't bad.
But not many were.
Yeah, exactly.
New South Wales.
Exactly.
And also, they lost by 2 points. Let's not forget. The game was closer. Like, Queensland didn't smash them.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Damien Cook demoted.
Yeah, no, Freddie's out of his fucking mind.
I know you're a big fan. You didn't even like me tossing up Appy's name on the Thursday show last week.
No.
Now he's in the starting side.
Yeah, look, I wouldn't have minded if Appy was on the bench. Because, as I said, when we did the review of game one, I said that Damien Cook, you could tell he was fatigued. He was making, he was making some poor options. But, come on. And I understand you want those, what do you call it? I always forget this word.
Connection.
It's not the connection.
Combination.
Combination, yeah. I know he's thinking about how, Penrith are going really well and he's one of the reasons why they're going really well. I can understand Damien Cook starting and bringing him on, but I don't know what's going on, mate.
Just you made me think of something. I think the Blues have gone away from what has made them really good because they've won 3 of the last 4 series, right?
Yeah.
They're going away from what's made them really, really good, and that's that fast footy through the middle with Damien Cook, Cam Murray, James Tedesco. That's been their game. Their game has been playing quick, big boys through the middle that have a lot of leg speed, like Junior Paulo, quick play the balls, Teddy sniffing around, and then playing off the back of that. They've absolutely gone away from that this year, and they've just decided to play Penrith football.
Yeah, exactly. Look, Azayo, Liam Martin, Appy, Cleary, Luai, Crichton. You can even throw in Matt Burton there because he was at Penrith last year in the centres, and Brian Toto.
Yeah, well, they've got 7 players in the 17. If you don't want to count Matt Burton, that's 41% roughly of their team is Penrith.
Well, that's over 50% of the starting team.
Yeah, so it's just interesting that they're going away from what's worked for them. I know we're seeing a lot of success at Penrith, but club level is very different to State of Origin.
100%.
Queensland always play to their strength. They pick tough players that are going to do a job, and if they don't do a job, they're gone. Dane Gagai in this competition has not been the best centre for 5-6 years. He's had moments, but at State of Origin level, consistently, he has got it done for Queensland. That's why he gets picked. He doesn't get picked. Probably in game one he wasn't outstanding, but other than that, you can't say he's played his best football by far at Origin level. These are the kind of players they pick, and I just think New South Wales are trying to reinvent the wheel here. They're going backwards for mine. I just don't understand. I don't understand the Jake Trbojevic pick. Let's talk about Josh Adokar.
Yeah, Josh Adokar.
I know you've had the shits about this Josh Adokar thing. You said 6 weeks ago that you reckon he's been one of the best wingers in the competition. People scoffed at that, right?
You scoffed at that.
No, a lot of people scoffed at that. And then we get to Origin 1, he's not selected. That's a big, big thing for New South Wales fans. You see it across all their pages, across all our pages. Where is Josh Adokar? Then we get to game 2. He's had a blinder. He had a blinder, maybe even 2 blinders. Really played well against Parramatta. Still not in this team. How does Josh Adokar stack up to the wingers that have been picked so far?
Right, so I took a deep dive here. I had a look at the tries, line breaks, tackle breaks, and meters gained for all 5. So that'd be the 4 wingers selected and Josh Adokar. So Josh Adokar ranks number 1 in, for the wingers picked in Origin, first in tries, will equal first with Selwyn Cobbo on 11, first in line breaks, first in tackle breaks, and third in meters gained.
It's pretty much all the stats that matter too.
All the stats here, he smashes tackle breaks. He's on 77 tackle breaks. The person coming second, Cobbo, is on 58. With line breaks, he's on 13. Tupou's on 11. And yeah, tries at 11-11 with Cobbo.
And I'm pretty sure all the other wingers are playing on top 5 sides or something. Top 8 sides. Oh, Tupou, they just fell out of the 8. They just fell out of the 8. But the Dogs, they've been terrible. What, all year apart from the last 2 weeks?
Yeah. Well, you can really say apart from maybe 4 games all up this year, they've been bang average.
I'll tell you one thing about Josh Adokar. It's almost not what he does on the field. It's what he does off the field, and he just the amount of energy he can bring to a camp and a team. You need that, man. You need that pressure release. You need that person around the camp. I just don't understand how he isn't in this side. And I could make an argument for him not being picked in game 1 for his ability to defend kicks because Xavier Coates was in the side. I mean, Taulagi, not a noted aerial threat. I just think he had to get back into the team, but that's just Melon. Just quickly before we get into the games, Nicho Hynes, always the bridesmaid, never the bride. What does he have to do to get into the side?
Look, I think he'd have to probably kill a couple players.
Who does he kill him?
He'd have to kill James Tedesco and Ryan Pappenhausen. Probably, probably just those two. I think he's behind those two. And realistically, probably Gutho too.
Why do they keep picking him in the 18 if when there's an injury, he's not the one to come in?
What do you mean?
So, well, he was 18th man for last game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then a centre goes down. So you think he gets promoted onto the bench there, right? And then he doesn't.
Well, a centre's gone. Could he play in the centres though? That's the thing.
No, well, so a centre was the 14th man, right? Stephen Crichton was a centre, so naturally Stephen Crichton goes into the team.
Mm-hmm.
Then Nicho would come in, wouldn't he? To the 14. That's what he's there for.
Well, yeah,
he's the utility.
Yeah. You'd think so.
He can't get a look in. That's the second time he's been 18th man.
Was that last year?
Yeah, he was 18th man last year as well. And he just cannot get a run in this side. He's playing probably some of his best footy too. And he's not going to get a go in the halves. I mean, we had a halfback go down and Mitch Moses took over last year.
Yeah.
I dare say if Nathan Cleary goes down or Jerome Luai goes down, I think there's others that will get picked in front of him still.
Yep. Look, I think if Nathan Cleary does go down, I think he will go into that 7 spot. I don't think Mitch Moses will.
You don't reckon they'll go back to Moses?
No, well, you saw, before he went to the Sharkies, he was only playing majority fullback.
Yeah.
So I guess we didn't really have a good look at what he could really do at 7. And now that we have, I think he's probably maybe even better than Mitch Moses.
Mm-hmm. I can't agree with that. I put Mitch Moses over him.
All right.
Yeah. I don't know. I just want to know. I just want to know how he gets in the side.
I think that they're pretty even. I know. I'll go there.
All right. We'll talk about some of the Queensland selections just quickly. All forced, obviously. Taulagi, he's had a great year. And people were calling out for Oates. Billy pretty much said today that Taulagi and the Hammer are both ahead of Oates right now. The Hammer would be in this side if not for concussion protocols.
Well, I think Oates he's a good player when he's on, but then he's one of those players that will just give away an unforced error just like that. He'll just knock the ball on, trying to take a hit up off one off the ruck, or just a catch. I think he's just too. He's just got an error in him.
I think the thing that worries me the most about Corey Oates is he's good games and his bad games are too far apart.
Yeah.
Like he can have an absolute shocker, he can have an absolute blinder, and there's not a lot of that in between. I think for him,
Yep.
Murray Taulagi, and it helps that he defends next to Valentine Holmes anyway. So
Yeah.
I mean that just seems like a no-brainer. Lindsay Collins into the starting side. I thought in a losing side last week. They used to talk about Jonathan Thurston being able to be in the frame anytime a try scored. So if in attack and defence.
Yeah.
And Jamie Soward used to talk about he used to want to be like that. He used to always want to be in the frame. Lindsay Collins was in the frame for almost every Parramatta try, like just covering, just found himself on the edges as well, trying to sweep and defend a winger.
Yep.
He's all effort. He deserves to be in this team. I really like that choice from Billy Slater.
Yep.
Tino back to lock. Like he's gonna obviously kill it. What do you think about them resisting the urge to leave Pat Carrigan on the bench?
I think he was great off the bench last week. Oh, not last week. For game 1, sorry. So I just leave it as is. He was awesome.
I think he probably changed the momentum a little bit too when he got on.
100%. So if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yep. Dry Arrow comes back into the team. I mean, I think Billy Slater said at the start of the series he will factor at some point in this series.
Yep.
He did. Pretty handy player to have just come back into the team there. And Beau Fermor gets a spot on the extended bench. No Dave Fifita. Is he still injured? He might still be injured.
I'd say, well, he's not getting picked for Titans, so you'd have to say that he probably is.
I haven't even checked that. But Beau Fermor, I think he's had a great year.
I think he's been awesome for the Titans. He's been great.
He scored I don't know if he scored or set one up.
No,
a good try against South.
Dummy and go.
Yeah, it was nice. No, I'm a big fan of him. He's in my fantasy team. Yeah, I rate him. I'm going to check this Dave Fifita thing. When's he back? Round 16.
That's 2 more weeks, is it?
Yeah. I really don't know how he gets back into this side anyway, to be honest. And Reece Walsh is in the 22. I'd say that's just to get him around the camp as well. Obviously, he's a future Maroon.
Yeah. Who's the other Titans? Oh, you're talking about Origin Camp.
Origin camp, yeah.
Okay, I thought you were talking about the Titans thing.
No. And that's it for the Queensland team. I like what they're doing. Ponga's... They also said Reece Walsh is in the side because Ponga's sickness. He was sick on the weekend during the game. He still killed it.
He was awesome. He's one of Newcastle's best.
Oh, people that say he's overrated, you've lost me. The bloke's unbelievable. He's just got nothing around him.
Oh, 100%. He
has no help.
He lost Mitch Pearce, who was... Even towards the back end of his career, Mitch Pearce was great.
Yeah.
Jaden Brayley, he was awesome too. And who was their 6?
Well, they dropped Clifford on the weekend before kickoff too.
Oh, wow. Who was it Clune that came in for him?
Clune.
Yeah, nice. Love Clune.
I feel for Kalen a little bit, but he's taken the big buck, so that's he decided to put this team on his back, so he has to do it.
Yep.
Other than that, we'll be flying over to Perth
Saturday.
So
night.
we won't get to watch the second international, which I think is the Kummels, your boys.
My people.
Yeah, the Kummels.
Yeah, the Kummels
versus the Fijian side, which is a good side too.
What would you call it? Like them? Like what's their team?
Bati or something. Bati. Bati. Bati Fiji.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And then the Kummels. I'm really keen for the war cries. I like this this international round. Probably because we're not going to do another podcast. Do you want to try and tip those games
for the internationals?
Yeah.
What are the games?
Just quickly. It's first one's New Zealand versus Tonga.
New Zealand.
Tonga have a good side.
New Zealand will be winning.
Yeah, I'll go New Zealand. I think it'll be close though, and that's our first game back in New Zealand.
Mount Smart.
Well. That's at Mount Smart. Samoa versus the Cook Islands.
Samoa
will be smashing them, and then this will be a really good game as well. Papua versus Fiji.
I'll have to tip Papua.
I'll go Fiji.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
You bastard. The Kummels won't be happy with you. Olam's going to come find you and get you.
Actually, 8% of the demographic for this podcast is from Papua New Guinea.
So 8%, everyone, 8% of yous.
Yeah.
Message me. I'll give you Bo's address.
New South Wales women versus the Queensland women. That's on the Friday night. That'll be a gun game. I recommend everyone watch this. They're always good games. I think New South Wales shooting for 3 in a row.
Yeah, New South Wales will be winning.
I'll be taking Queensland in that one. They're playing a 2-game series, which I fucking hate. I hate it so much.
So what happens if it's a tie?
Oh, don't start. I hate it so much. That's the NRL giving the women's game something without giving them anything. That's what that is.
Yeah, give them a 3-game series.
How hard? Or leave it at 1.
Yeah.
You're not going to give them a 3-game series. Leave it at 1.
2 makes no sense.
Yeah, and obviously we'll get into the State of Origin game later. But let's recap this round that was. And it started off with a shock. 32-12, the Dragons defeat the Rabbitohs. This was 30-0 or something after half an hour. 32-0 after half an hour. Where'd this come from? I know you tipped it, but you didn't think 30-0 after half an hour.
Look, no, I expected a bounce back, but like 30-0 after half an hour. No, I don't think anyone was expecting that. They kept on scoring. I don't know. The Bunnies, I think they, as we've been saying this for a couple, they're the worst. No, they are their worst enemy. Their own worst enemy.
100%.
Like penalties, errors, everything. Nothing was happening for them.
5th tackle penalties, bro. 5th tackle penalties.
Yeah.
I think they had 2 of them in that little run. They just couldn't get out of their own way. And when the chips are down, Cody Walker goes further down.
Oh, yeah. He's one of those players. It's just like, if you're going good, like, great. But if you're not, like, I don't know.
We talked about Corey Oates being like far apart. You know what I mean? If the going's good, Cody Walker is one of the best in the competition.
100%. We saw that last year.
Yeah, but if it's going bad,
he goes missing.
They need someone. Now, Cam Murray's a great player, great leader. I like him. They need someone with a bit of gusto to go over and talk to Cody Walker when he gets like that.
Yeah.
Because he just kicks stones the rest of the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. You could tell early on, like after the first maybe 2 or 3 tries, it was like starting to get to him.
Yeah. You need someone to just go over and tell him to pull his head in kind of thing. It's not, because it's not just about him. It's about everyone.
Yeah, 100%.
It's about the team. These are all suffering together. And when he does get his head down, and this isn't all on Cody Walker, but when he does get his head down, the whole team just falls apart. He's the obviously the key to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were horrible. They played okay in patches in the second half, but the game was over.
Just out of nowhere, Ilias getting hooked. Fair?
Oh, nah, because it wasn't just on him.
Yeah.
It wasn't just on him. So I did not like that. What does it do for his confidence? Because I made sure to watch the press conference after them, and I barely watch any press conferences. I wanted to see what he said about Ilias, and he said, "Oh no, he's definitely still a halfback for the rest of the year and all this stuff." And well, what does it do for his confidence if you're not going to back him?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I did not like that, and it wasn't all on him anyway.
Yeah,
like Cam Murray had a couple of bad defensive reads. There were other players there that did not play well. Even Campbell Graham, probably the best defensive centre in the game at the moment, he had a couple of bad reads.
Oh, I think, Zach Lomax was just dancing rings around him. Like, just that right foot step got him every single time. But, with old mate saying that Ilias is the halfback for the rest of the year, I think that's bullshit. He's not. When Latrell gets back, Nick Kareem will go into 7.
Yep.
And Ilias is gone.
Yep. It's a little bit interesting. I think that Reynolds-Ilias thing's still up in the air because Reynolds has copped a lot of injuries, and that's kind of what they thought would happen. But Ilias definitely not looking like the 10-year option right now. But I mean, if he does play the next round, the coach is stuffed up because you just need to back him there, I think.
100%.
You need to back him and even give him a spray at half time. Like, give him a wind up or something, but don't hook him.
Yeah, no, for sure.
This next game, unbelievable.
This was a shock. An absolute shock.
Unbelievable.
Well, you were at work, and I think I was at home, and I was getting ready to do one of those, like the thingy, but Tori had already done it. Yeah, the post, and Tori had already done it and put in the score 26-12, Melbourne. Oh, not Melbourne, Manly. Sorry, with a picture of, I think it was Lachlan Croker scoring a try or celebrating or something like that. And
Which
like, all right,
never be aired.
exactly. And I'm like, yeah, okay, sweet. I'll go have a shower. The game's over. There's 10 minutes to go. It's 26-12. I get in the shower, I hop out, and then I just look at the TV. I'm like, oh, Valentine Holmes has scored a consolation try. And I look down at the score, and it is 28-26.
Bro, I couldn't believe it. Right, I checked the score with 10 to go as well, because I was at work, and they were down 26-12 or whatever it was. And you know what? I'm like, if the Cowboys lose, I don't want to hear anything about it now, because I thought that was over. Didn't want to hear a word. Didn't want to talk about it. Didn't want to think about it. I'm sitting upstairs, probably 20 minutes into the Broncos game.
Yeah.
And I saw a notification from someone, like, trashing someone else saying, oh, 28-26, Cowboys on top. And I was like, what are you talking about? And I go check the score. And the Cowboys won 3 tries in 5 minutes. I cannot believe... I'm still in shock about that.
I think everyone is still in shock about that. That was unbelievable. Three tries in 3 minutes. 72,
minutes,
73, 75. I could not believe it. After Lachlan Croker scored his second try, I was like, yeah, it's wraps.
Yeah. And they were fired up. Like, because I went and rewatched the game, and it was all Manly. Like, it was like they had that much momentum that it was more plausible that Manly go on and win 40-12
Oh, yeah, no, for sure.
than the Cowboys come back and win.
Honestly, could not believe it.
Yep.
Could not believe it.
Anyway, the Cowboys end up dominating pretty much all the stats in this one too. Ran for more meters, more post-contact meters. They just got a feeling about that club now that they're not beaten. It's a lot of belief in that team, and it's good. On to Manly.
Yeah.
This could be telling for their whole season. They just lost. They dropped the unlosable.
Yeah.
After playing really well, and they haven't had a lot of really good games. Lachlan Croker was outstanding, obviously. Don't know what's going through Daly Cherry Evans' head in this one, but
That
a lot of
last
tries
one.
off kicks too in this game.
Ooh. A lot of Manly's tries off kicks, yeah.
Yeah,
And actually, there was a couple of Cowboys too. Actually,
yeah. So what did you make of? Because you watch more of the game live.
yeah. What I make
of
of? Look, I thought
What did you make of Manly in particular?
they looked good for the first 70 minutes. But yeah, Cooper Cronk hit the nail on the head. He said if Manly want to win, they've got to start fast and put on a score. And then he said that, because the Cowboys, the second half, they're a known second half team. They'll come over the top of you at the back end of the game, and he was spot on. But yeah, I mean, it's awesome game for the Cowboys. You wouldn't see that. You barely ever see that from the Cowboys, or over the past however many years.
Oh nah.
Them score however many tries in quick succession to steal back the game late in the game. I don't think I've seen the Cowboys do that ever.
And when they get to certain positions in the game, down 26-12 or whatever it was, 24-12, it's like their heads drop and have for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we're beat, but they didn't give up. And I tell you what, Val Holmes is in some rare form.
Oh yeah, he's quick.
He had that year back from NFL, and not only did he have to probably drop a couple of kilos just because of how NFL are, that you put on a little bit of weight.
Yeah.
But he also had that ankle injury all year, and it really hampered him. But he looks fit and fast. I don't think we've seen him run like that in years. The way he took off with that ball, unbelievable. And he's strong too. He's got a kind of strength. So even though Saab caught him, there was no stopping him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you have a look at a lot of teams, and a lot of teams when they get down, if they are down 26-12, they will kind of be it's done for.
Yeah.
But good on the Cowboys for fighting back and taking back the lead.
Yep,
and winning
important
that game.
win for them to cement their spot in the top 4. They are now 2 points clear of 4th, 5th, and 6th, so that's really important for them. I think they're a real danger of going deep in this competition. I think they're that kind of side. I think when Ruben Cotter gets back, and I said this to someone the other day, this injury to Ruben Cotter might be a little bit of a blessing in disguise because he'll miss both the Origins and he'll be fresh for the back end of the year with the Cows. So it might not be the worst thing, but I think they can go pretty deep in this competition. Another team that impressed me was in the next game. Now, I know you said you didn't watch this game. The Broncos were up 16-6, and even when the game kind of got back in the balance and Melbourne got back into it, the Broncos were super, super competitive after that as well, which is kind of where I expected them to get run over.
Yep.
Now, this score kind of blows out late here. Jerome Hughes scores in the 74th minute, and the Broncos pinch one back. But I thought the game was in the balance for a long time. Just the Broncos, I think Tom Flegler dropped it on first tackle. When they were 20 out, when the game was in the balance, and I think they dropped it again when they got back in the arm wrestle later in the game as well. So a couple of key errors for them cost them, but they were up 16-6. Did you expect that from the Bronx?
No, I didn't. 16-6 is against Storm. I mean, Storm are usually, in Melbourne, Storm are usually, pretty fast starters. For the Broncos to be up, you got to give it to them. I thought they would not be in the game at all. Yep. And they proved me wrong. They were great. Maybe with Adam Reynolds, it might have been a little bit closer, but I guess we'll never know.
Just Adam Reynolds gives you that little bit of calmness. You know what I mean? Like, and there was a 5 minutes before halftime. They were up 16-6, 5 minutes before halftime, and you just thought if they could kick to a corner and just pin them and go into halftime at 16-6, they could think about the job and probably get it done. They let Melbourne score two really quick tries. Munster and Jerome Hughes scored right on with that 5 minute gap to half time. And then Melbourne kind of had the advantage after that. And then once Melbourne get in front, they're tough to run down.
Yeah. Just on a side note, how good's Cam Munster going this year?
He's off the beers. He's off the party. He's got a kid. He's got a young, I think it's a newborn. I don't know. He could be a captain. He could be a captain of the Storm.
100. Who's their captain now? Jesse Bromwich?
Jesse.
I
think for Munster, the situation he's in, I think he should take a little less to stay with Melbourne and just build his legacy. What do you think?
Me personally, I'd take the money.
Yeah.
Because, he's already done it all. He's won State of Origin, he's won with Australia, he's won comps. I think there's not much more you can do for your legacy, is there?
And he could set himself up for life if he wins another couple of comps out there.
What do you mean?
Well, just cement himself. Like, you know the people that win multiple comps and win Clive Churchills and win Daily M's, they usually get the broadcasting gigs, and there's not too many of them going around.
Oh, I guess not. Well, you got Hindy.
Yeah.
He'd be doing well. He didn't win any.
Yeah. He'd be kind of right. You know what? Was he in that 2002, 2001 side for the Eels? Because that was the best team. That was the best team to never win a grand final, I reckon.
He was in that team, yeah.
You've robbed him. Anyway, Munster is absolutely killing it. And I think it's no secret that it's because he's off the drink and he's just focusing on footy. And he looks like he enjoys every moment.
Yeah. Good on him.
Yeah. Sharkies, Titans. The Sharks defeat the Titans 18-10 in this one. What'd you make of this game out of Coffs Harbour?
Oh, look. Competitive at the start. But then, I don't know. I guess the Titans just don't really have it in them to kind of roll over the top of teams.
Watching it, I thought that the Titans were never going to get them.
Yeah?
Even when the Titans were only up, 16-10, 18-10, with like half an hour to go. And I still thought the Titans were never going to get them.
Were the Titans up?
Yeah, the Titans were up early, but they've been there. I know.
No, they weren't.
They might have been up.
No, I don't think they were ever up.
But did you feel like they were going to get them? No.
I don't think so. To be honest, I can't remember what I was thinking during the game.
Because I just remember thinking they've been in this position 20 times this year.
Yeah.
Where they've been in a game and then fallen away. But to their credit, they kind of stuck in there for this one, but I just didn't think they were ever going to catch them.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're in last position now, aren't they? They in last spot?
Yeah, outright last.
Wow. That
Did
hurts.
not see that coming this year.
No, me neither. That hurts. They were what? They were top 8 side last year, weren't they?
Yeah, they end up finishing 8th.
Wow, what has happened to them? It's Jamal Fogarty. 100%.
Is it?
I don't know, probably. Yeah, because like Tino's been great for the Titans. He's been 100% their best player by far.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with them.
They haven't got their value for money for David Fifita, I'll tell you that.
Oh no, he's been injured half this season, and when he is fit, he goes hiding on the wing.
He plays for 20 minutes. I reckon he has 20 good minutes in every game.
He's just, I don't know what happened to him. He was, like, when he was at the Broncos, he was awesome.
Yeah. I don't know. It's hard to pay back rowers that much money.
So, what's
the
he on?
Titans?
Sorry?
He's on 1.2.
Damn.
Yeah. They need to pay it. But that's it. I think his contract's up now.
He will not even get probably half of that for his next contract.
I think he will get half. I reckon he'll probably be on a... So it's saying, 1.25.
So you think he'll be on... What do you think he'll be on? What do you think? What would you offer him?
But he only made that for 1 year. I think it was like back-ended or something. What would I offer him?
Yeah, what would you...
750?
Oh, that's overs.
Or you can see what he can do, though. You know what he can do.
Yeah, you know what he can do, but it's like... Isaiah Papali'i is a far better back rower than him. More versatile as well. He's on 600.
Well, as of 2023, he's off contract.
Hold on, is Isaiah Papali'i on 600 or 650?
650, I think.
There's no way I'm offering him more money than Isaiah Papali'i. I'd offer him... He should not.
Yeah, but he'll get 750 minimum.
He shouldn't. But,
Might even get more.
But what'd you say, sorry?
Might even get more. He'll go to the Roosters, be the best back rower on the comp.
He'll go to the Roosters for snickle fritz, like 500k. And he will just like, 100%, be the best back rower.
Warriors, Panthers. Panthers defeat the Warriors 40-6. I tell you what, Sean Johnson needs to front the media and say something to these fans, because they were on the try line, right? They were attacking 10 meters out, had a bit of momentum. It was like 10 in. It was 10 minutes in. It was 0-0. The Warriors had a bit of momentum. Mm-hmm. Sean Johnson boots the ball dead.
Oh,
Dead set, boots it dead. They go up the other end, get a try disallowed. Penrith pretty much straight away. 3 tackles later. Then, about 10 minutes later, the Panthers run in 2 tries. Warriors finally get back into the arm wrestle. They get down the other end. Warriors knock it on 10 metres out. Panthers go up the other end, get a try disallowed, then put on a couple more tries. Like, what are they doing? What are they doing? And by the time they start playing some okay football, the game's gone.
Yeah. Look, you gotta get rid of Sean Johnson. He's had his time. He was great, and he did good things for the Warriors back in his day. But his time's up. He's
not the guy.
No, he's not the guy anymore. Like, put Chanel Harris-Tavita in at 7, keep that Volkman there at 6, and just have Reece Walsh at fullback.
Yeah, the thing about that Chanel, he doesn't want to play after this year anyway.
He's better than Sean Johnson, though. Did you see you see his 40-20 at a dummy half?
Yeah. I know, 100%. I'm all for Chanel, but he doesn't want to play.
Well, if you want to win some games, you got to play your best team. Sean Johnson's not part of that. Not part of that, I don't think.
They targeted Volkman in this one. I thought he was okay defensively.
He wasn't bad. I thought he was, he was all right for as far as debuts go.
Yeah, 27 tackles, 4 missed tackles. He made about 11 more tackles more than Sean Johnson had to make. Definitely was targeted. Got a little bit of help from Jesse Arthurs there on the edge too. Jesse Arthurs made 16 tackles, so helping him out. I will say, Liam Martin looked up, saw Volkman 10 metres out, and couldn't believe his luck, just ran straight over the top.
Got to try.
Yeah. But this went the way everyone expected. I just think the Warriors are their own worst enemy. I tell you what, if they lose that homecoming game, they're going to be in a world of hurt.
Well, the Tigers aren't in a very good spot, at the moment. So, but neither are the Warriors. You never know.
You never know. The
Could
Warriors
be-
actually in the 15th now.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, they've got some bad defense. That's the worst defense in the comp. The
Yeah.
Warriors. By a long shot.
Yeah, they've been terrible. The Eels and the Roosters. This first half, both these teams prove that they're really good sides, I think. I think the Roosters play like that in the first half against 90% of the teams in the competition. They beat them. But the Eels were just up. The Eels were up and on for this game. Their offloads were sticking. They were playing fast. Dylan Brown was trying to get through the line as much as he can. And when that team's doing that, Mitchy Moses can kind of do his thing on the back of it. They were just awesome. Reid Marnie was very, very intelligent out of dummy half. He's probably got the best service in the NRL, I reckon, Reid Marnie, from dummy half. When the halves need the ball, he is hitting them dead set, smack bang on the chest. He's that good at it, and it's off the ground. It's none of this jump and pass. He's just hammering them 20-metre passes every time. He's great. I'm a big fan of Parramatta, and I said to you, I think I've messaged you the next day, if Parramatta make top 4, I think they'll win the grand final.
I hope you're right. Seriously. It's been a long time.
I'm a big fan of this side when they're on. And now, a guy told me this the other day, and it made a lot of sense. Para don't think they're a good team. This is why, right? Para don't think they're a good team. So, any team in the competition that plays a good team always gets up for it because they know they have to be up for it, otherwise they're going to get steamrolled.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why when Para play Penrith and the Storm, they're right up for it, right? And obviously they win because they're a really good team. But when they play the Tigers and the Bulldogs, they waltz in there and think, oh, well, these are the shitters of the competition. We're just going to waltz through them.
Yeah.
You know? Not expecting them to be up for it because they don't see themselves as a good team.
Okay, that makes sense.
I like that. I like that analogy. And I think it's true.
Who said that?
Just a person from work.
Do I know this person?
No. I think it makes sense, though.
It 100% does make sense.
So I'm on board. I'm all aboard the Parramatta train. I think if there's anyone outside the top 3, obviously the Cowboys are the main hope. If there's anyone outside of that can win a competition, I think it's Parramatta. But I think they do need to finish in top 4.
So if he beat the Bulldogs, we'd be in the top 4.
Yeah, I think they need to finish in top 4. I don't think they can win it from outside the top 4.
All right, I'm keen. I'm not keen. I'm down with that.
All right, on to the next.
On to the next. What is that? The Raiders beat the Knights 20 points to 18. A nice late try from Hudson Young gets the Raiders over the line and did wonders for your multi.
I know.
What was your multi?
I had Taylor May, Joseph Suwali, Hudson Young, and Jacob Carraz for 33 to 1. Cha-ching.
And you had $10 on that bad boy.
I had a tenner on it, yeah.
Mate, you've been on fire of late. That's
I've been going all right.
How much have you won the last week?
It's about 1,000. Well, a little bit more because I've won a little bit.
Oh, right, a little bit more. Yeah, okay, nice. All right,
yeah,
mate.
no, going okay. Going okay. Trust me.
Yeah,
Let's just say Perth is paid.
For you, I'm still struggling in the gutters. This one was the Raiders started off really well. Broke out to I think it was a 14-point lead. 14 point or 16 point? 14. Yeah, 14-point lead.
Maybe on 12.
No, it was definitely 14.
Okay.
Definitely 14. And then right on the stroke of halftime, Kurt Mann goes over, and after halftime, that probably first 20 minutes of halftime, the Knights were all over him. And then obviously the Raiders come back over the top. What do you think of it?
The Kurt Mann try was out of nowhere. Absolutely out of nowhere. They were getting dominated. The Raiders were all over them. Could have been 30-0 at halftime. They had all the ball. The Knights just hung tough. It's one of the better performances I've seen from the Knights, to be honest. And I'll tell you what was interesting. You've seen them kind of realise they could win the game.
Yeah.
While it was happening. They got a little bit of confidence. Ponga started jumping about. Ponga was outstanding in this game. And then it got to a point where they probably should have won. If it wasn't for the bunker. I said this live. The bunker saved the Raiders' season, I think.
On what call?
Because the Knights score, and then everyone's celebrating. The ref gives it. They're going back, and then check it. It's a little knock on from Anali Tawala. I think.
Oh yeah.
A little knock on that saves the Raiders' season because if the Knights score there, they're not getting run down.
Yeah, no.
Run down. They were coming in with a wet sail. Joseph Tarpany, outstanding. He's probably the form front row, forward in the competition, I think. Adam Elliott's killing it. Hudson Young wasn't too dangerous on the edge, I didn't think. But then he scores the game winner. But I was thinking live, they look terrible going left without Jackie Watton.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Who was in there? Frawley? I think he had a couple shocking plays, Frawley.
But I think Fogarty ended up playing on the left anyway. I think Fogarty was the one going left. Unless he was just playing both sides of the field. But it was Fogarty that was doing those sweet plays. They just looked nowhere. They were getting all clunked up there. Adam Elliott's been a revelation for the Raiders. But they showed a lot of heart to stay in it. I didn't think they were the better side in the end. I thought the Knights were outstanding in the back end of that first half. In the second half, they dominated the second half for mine. But Raiders did enough to win. An important win for them.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Everyone will bag the bunker when it gets it wrong. No one will thank the bunker when they get it right. The bunker saved the Raiders' season.
Yep, for sure. On to the last game of the round. We got the Bulldogs, the Doggies, defeating the Tigers 36 points to 12. Yeah, great game from the Doggies, I guess. Awesome game from them. Averillo has great. Carraz, awesome again.
I think they just out-enthused the Tigers here. I thought they were still average in the first half. They scored 2 tries from dummy half in the first half. That was their 2 tries. They didn't build for anything. They didn't put anything on. And then Luke Garner, seriously, if Madge was still there, in the review of this game, would just get blasted for that second try. They're on the short side. Luke Garner goes back to go to an A defender, right? It's 2-on-2 on the short side. And then there's no one at the A defender on the open side. Luke Garner, of course, goes to short side. Makes it a 3-on-2 defensively.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then leaves the A on the other side open. What does Jake Averillo do? Scoots through dummy half, scores right there.
That is the softest try I think I've seen in years. That's bad.
They didn't really work for anything in the first half. And then on the back of some enthusiasm, I think they just dominated them in the second half. A lot of their tries were, like, I think they took an intercept try.
Yep.
I think they got a couple of lazy defenders around the middle. One of them was a good pass out to the centre, and then Carraz ended up scoring on the back of that. So I still worry about them defensively when they play a good side, because they didn't really build for much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you didn't see that double block for an inside or anything. You know what I mean? You didn't see him put on a play.
Yeah.
It was more just energy, which that's good. That's good. You need that, but I think Burton and Flanagan need to just step up a little bit and take responsibility of this team. Obviously, whatever Mick Potter's doing is working for them. They've second best attack in the last 2 weeks, I think.
And defense. Second best attack in defense. It would have been the best defense in the comp the last 2 weeks, but they had to let James Tarmow run over in the 79th minute.
Soft one too.
It's so soft.
What'd you make of that first? Did you see that first moment with Matty Burton and Twal? I
think there has to be something going on. There has to be like some kind of repercussion for Matt Burton, because he did like it's a similar kind of thing with Felice Kafusi, I think.
Yeah, I thought Burton's was way less innocuous than. I think you could see an extension from Felice. I think you could see that. Burton kind of, his fist like stays right here the whole time.
But they're not idiots. They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
So I think that if I think that Felice Kafusi should get something, at least a week, I think Matt Burton should as well. But they never do.
They never do. Yeah, I just checked the judiciary. They did not. Wonga Blake got a fine. Dangerous row.
Yeah, of course he did.
No, Collins got a fine on dangerous row for Wonga Blake. That was it.
Oh, was that that tackle that you put a post up of?
Tackle.
Yeah, I saw that.
Other than that, I think the Bulldogs were all right, but a lot of people get carried away with the scoreline. I think you go back and have a look at that game, especially in the first half. They were pretty clunky. Neither team was great in that first half. And then I think the Bulldogs beat them on the back of some big energy in the second half. And the Tigers, they're just fucking hole. Who knows what they're going to do next?
Yeah, well, I was having a look, and there was 6 errors in the first 18 minutes. There was nothing going for either team.
I put it in the Discord. I said, this is killing me to watch.
But then, the more it went on, pardon me, the less errors there were, and I thought it started to turn into a decent game. I enjoyed watching it.
Well, the Bulldogs got up for it, and they just out-enthused them, I thought.
Yeah.
A couple of good games. We got the rep round, but then after that, Knights-Titans, I'm looking forward to that. I think what we saw from the Knights this week...
You taking the piss?
No, I'm actually looking forward to that game.
Okay.
Why not?
I don't know. The Knights-Titans, it just seems like a bit of a low game.
The Dogs-Sharks, we'll get to see what the Dogs are like. They'll have to really put on some points there, otherwise they're not going to be able to keep up with them. South Eels, you'll expect some kind of bounce back from South. They got a good record against the Eels too, South. Warriors Tigers, that's the homecoming game. Raiders Dragons, that's another 2 teams that are close.
Even Cowboys Broncos, mate.
Well, Cowboys Broncos will be the game of the round. It's already sold out. It's been sold out for 6 weeks or something, that game.
So, I would love to go to a sold out game. Oh, well, I have another sold out game at Queensland Country Bank Stadium.
I don't think they would sell as much as they sold that day. Panthers, Roosters, that'll be a gun game. So we're looking forward to a really good round in round 16. But Origin first, we'll be over there. Thanks if you made it this far. You've got to find a hobby or something. And Denny, any last words?
New South Wales to win, please. 20 plus, sorry. In both these second games, Bo will be wearing a blue wig.
No, we're not wearing a blue
Let's
wig.
go.
You'll never see me with a blue wig on ever.
We will.